A massive drone strike on Moscow this morning, leaving a trail of destruction in residential areas. Ukraine's largest ever on Moscow, local officials say, after escalating Russian attacks inside Ukraine, continuing overnight. War remains the only way Ukraine and the Kremlin talk to each other, even as President Trump pushes for peace. This morning, US and Ukrainian delegations locked in negotiations in Saudi Arabia, including over a possible minerals deal. The Saudi Crown Prince helping mediate, hosting President Zelensky on Monday, and separately Secretary Rubio. In a post overnight, Zelensky saying he discussed the return of children held in Russia and security guarantees, the vexed issue that fueled his fight in the Oval Office.
You're gambling with World War III.
Ukraine trying to repair the damage today, promising a clear vision to end the war with our American partners. Another complication, Elon Musk weighing in again, suggesting an outage on his platform X came from somewhere in Ukraine.
But there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
On the flight from Washington, Secretary Rubio managing expectations, including Ukraine's potential land concessions.
We have to understand the Ukrainian position and just have a general idea of what concessions they'd be willing to make, because you're not going to get a ceasefire and an end to this war unless both sides make concessions.
While this morning, Russia says separate, intensive bilateral talks are underway with Washington.
Well, the US and Ukrainian delegations are locked in a neighboring room from here, stopping for lunch but continuing their conversation. Secretary Rubio with a thumbs up as he entered the talks, the Ukrainians describing the atmosphere as constructive. The Secretary of State indicating on the flight here to Jeddah in Saudi Arabia that their main goal is to understand the position of the Ukrainians and of the Russians, but suggesting again that the US is looking for Ukraine to agree to give up some of its sovereign territory. President Zelensky, who was here overnight meeting with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, talking about some of the things he is looking for, including the handing over of prisoners, including children, but also saying that he had a conversation with the Saudi Crown Prince about security guarantees for Ukraine. That, of course, the vexed issue that inflamed that meeting in the Oval Office with President Trump. The damage from that is one of the issues the Ukrainians are trying to repair in this meeting. Meanwhile, the Russians once again indicating that they are not in a hurry for a ceasefire or certainly a deal. The Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov addressing Russians, saying that some people are rushing to put on rose-colored glasses about the new relationship between Russia and the United States, but saying, though, that Russia will, he says, defend its interests. Keir Simmons, NBC News, Jeddah.